Hi, this is Alec Delancey, your educational psychologist, and today I want to talk to you a little bit about productivity. You have to keep in mind the objective. Why are you doing what you're doing? The reason being is that sometimes when the objective is not clear in mind, or the reason as to why you're engaging in a specific task or you're doing something, when your energies run low, when your talent on a specific task, you probably don't know how to engage it, or you feel as though you stuck, or maybe you hit a brick wall. When that time comes, you have to look deep within yourself and try to figure out exactly why you're doing what you're doing. Who is it for? Is it that you're working on a specific project in order to get a promotion so that you can get a little bit better salary? Or maybe you are studying for an exam and you want to be able to pass the exam, so you want to get a good grade, of course, not just pass. So you're trying to put in as much time and effort as possible. And that is key, the effort. What is key also is your reason. What is key also is the objective. All right, why you're doing what you're doing. Because there will be a time when you'll feel like, I don't need to study. You know what, this project, it doesn't matter anymore. I'm giving up. I'm throwing in the towels. I'm calling it quits. Whatever happens, happens. When that time comes and you have to press on to do the very best that you can, you have to be able to say, okay, am I doing this because my children, my children, they will benefit from the work that I'm putting in right now? Maybe you are trying to make ends meet. Probably you have two jobs and you're just trying to put food on the table, probably pay the rent or the mortgage, or just put gas in the car. And you just have to keep going, working, so that you can at least get sufficient finance to be able to do what you have to do, your basic needs, to cover your basic needs. So you have to be able to tell yourself, okay, I have to push through. I have to dig deep, remain motivated so that I can complete this task and be able to do what I have to do in order to sustain myself or my family. So ask yourself, who is counting on me? Who do I need to do this for? Is it that the community is counting on me? Maybe you're in a position where you're working at a dream that you have, and most persons in the community, they probably have that similar dream, but the circumstances never presented itself for them to actually go towards their dream. But now you have the opportunity to go towards that particular dream, because the circumstances that you have right now before you is allowing you to do that. So the question is it that you're working on your dream in order to have your community be proud of you, in order for your community to feel that, you know what, we probably couldn't do the same thing too. They're looking at you for that drive or for that energy. So you have to keep going. Is it that? Is it that is why you are going back to school to learn that new trade, or going back to school so that you can demonstrate to those who live maybe a family that it is possible to become a doctor, to become a lawyer, to become a electrical engineer, to be able to do research in a specific field that can help humanity in some small way. So again, knowing your reason, your objective as to why you're doing what you're doing is a good reason, is necessary, so that when you feel as though you're tired and you just have to push yourself a little bit more, these are some of the thoughts, the memories, the understandings that you have to bring to the forefront so that you can keep going. Now, sometimes what I will do is to write things down. All right, so I know that we have electronics today, we have our phones, we have our tablets, we have our computers, so we could just type things. Or maybe if you have a Samsung or Android or Windows phone or whatever you have, all right, whatever you like, find that you can take notes on. Write down exactly what you want to achieve on a daily basis. Now I know some people, they say, but I write down what I want to do. And it just seems as though I can't get everything that I put down on paper or that I typed or that I scheduled in the day. I'm just not getting it done. So the question is, why? But one of the reasons might be that it's how many things that you're trying to cram into your day. Is it realistic? Now, sometimes we may know persons who are highly productive. They can do this letter, do research this, they do some business transactions during the course of the day. They go, they study, they go to work, they come back, they go to school, and they just seem to be going all the time. And there are persons like that. But we may not be like that. Or we may be like that, but not every day. So you have to take into consideration your energy levels. You have to take into consideration it's possible that you might get sick. You have to take into consideration that sometimes you may get a phone call, you have to go visit someone, they might be in the hospital, or maybe what you schedule to complete in a specific time frame, you realize that it's taking a little longer to complete. So all of these things can make us sort of come off task, or our schedule become disrupted a little bit, so that we feel as though we're not getting as much things done as we want to during the course of the day. So at times we just have to be realistic and recognize that there are the occasions when things will not go as planned, and that's perfectly fine. It just means that with that information, we can now evaluate for the next day. Do I need to do something that I didn't get done today? Do I need to get it done tomorrow? Is it urgent? Is it really important? Or is it that the reason why I didn't get it done is because it's really not that urgent? So maybe I can do it, but next week, or I can do it, but when I get the time. So these are just some of the things that you have to think about, and when you're writing down or you're creating a schedule on what you want to do on a daily basis. Using time. All right, using time. Now, what do I mean using time? Well, you no doubt have a lifespan, as it were, on how long you could concentrate for. For some people, they can do it really long. So they can go for about 60 minutes or so, and they could have laser focus, attention. Other persons, not so long. So for some persons, it may be that they can concentrate, and when I talk about concentrate, fully concentrate, no distractions. They just laser in onto what they are studying or reading, and they can do that for about 20 minutes or 30 minutes. Some persons even 15 minutes they can do it for. Now, it's true that our attention span seems to be getting shorter and shorter and shorter. No, that's just a general statement. It doesn't mean that our attention span is just getting shorter. It's just what interests us might not be motivating enough, may not be inspiring enough, may not be. It may cause us some pain, and of course, as humans, most of us at least, we try to escape pain or to avoid pain or anything that is uncomfortable. So sometimes what we're doing, we may not be enjoying it at the moment, or we like doing tasks like that, but this particular part of the task, not so much. So all of those things can affect attention. Of course, our energy levels, that can affect attention as well. But what is important is that we try to figure out on specific tasks how long we can really keep focus for. I know some people, they are able to focus for a long time on things that requires more mathematical formulas, calculations. They can just focus on that. But those same persons, when it comes to probably reading, they may not be able to read as long as they might be able to calculate stuff for. So you have to know yourself. You also have to know the subject matter that you're engaging in, and just manipulate the time or modify the time to suit. All right. So it doesn't mean because you're able to spend 45 minutes on a specific task means that on all tasks you will be able to spend 45 minutes. It just doesn't work that way. And especially if you might be a little hyperactive, you like to move around, sitting down and doing a task that requires sitting down and concentrating in that form, or probably writing something as opposed to moving around and doing something with your hands, it may feel a little boring to you, and you may get drained emotionally a little faster. Your concentration may not be as sharp as if you were actually moving around. So just be mindful of that and use time to suit. If you know that the task you're doing is something you really don't enjoy but have to get done, then you might want to shorten the time at the various intervals. So the first study part, or the first attempt at the task, you might do it for 15 minutes because you know it's something you will lose interest really fast in. 15 minutes, take a 5-minute break. 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 And you go like that, 15 minutes. That might be the time in which you're able to hold that concentration for on that specific task, right? So and another time you might be doing something that you really enjoy, and it might even be so difficult for you to rip yourself away from that project that you're engaging in. Okay, so of course, even though you might really love a project, it's always good to just take a little step back, get something to eat, get some water, get some glucose in your body, get some nutrition, have something to eat, take a little stretch, okay? Because you don't want to just sit there for a long period of time. And two, sometimes even working on things that we really enjoy, there comes a time period where there's a diminish in our creativity, or a diminish in how much we're able to produce, even though it's a task that we really enjoy. So just be mindful of that. You really enjoy it, you might focus more on it, but it's also important to take some breaks in between. It will help with creativity, and it may even help you to go a little further in your study, or you're paying attention to that specific task.